Good morning once again. Now we prepared standard oxalic acid solution in a last experiment. Using that solution we are supposed to titrate the given KMnO4 solution. Now KMnO4 solution is of unknown concentration and we need to find out in terms of molarity and grams per liter. So we have taken KMnO4 whose concentration is not known and we will titrate it against N/20 oxalic acid which we prepared. Now this titration is of redox titration, that is KMnO4 undergoes reduction and oxalic acid solution undergoes oxidation. So we need to write down the theory, that is reaction part, in which I will be explaining how it undergoes oxidation and reduction. So reduction of KMnO4, I have written MnO4 minus ion from it. Since it is undergoing reduction, it will gain 5 electron and this reaction takes place in acidic medium, so we have written H plus. Now why it is gaining 5 electron? The reason is MnO4 minus reduces from plus 7 oxidation state to plus 2 oxidation state. So for changing from plus 7 to plus 2, it has to gain 5 electrons. So we have written here 5 electrons. Now why 8H plus? See, there is 4 oxygen in it. So on the other side of a reaction, it will be forming 4 water molecules. So that means total 8 hydrogen required. So we have written 8H plus. So we will be adding sulfuric acid to provide acidic medium. This is the reduction reaction, gain of 5. Oxalic acid solution undergoes oxidation and oxalate ion, that is C2O4 2 minus ion, loses 2 electrons and changes to CO. Now to balance it, it has to be 2 CO2, right? So loss of 2 electron and gain of 5 electron. So to make the number of electron equal, the upper equation we will be multiplying with 2 and lower equation we will be multiplying with 5. So after multiplying the upper equation with 2, I got this answer, and after multiplying lower equation with 5, I got this answer. So number of electrons are 10 on both sides. So we cancel it and whatever is the remaining, that we write as a net reaction, and that reaction is called as redox because reduction and oxidation has taken place simultaneously during this titration. So now let us see how to titrate. So here we need to titrate KMnO4 against oxalic acid solution which we prepared. I have transferred my oxalic acid in this beaker. This is KMnO4 solution. Since it is colored solution, we need to adjust upper meniscus. For that, you wash it, rinse it and then fill KMnO4 in a burette. Now you can see that there is air bubble. Means in this lower nozzle there is air. Air should be displaced by liquid. So you press this clamp twice so that entire nozzle gets filled with a liquid. So adjust upper meniscus after that. For that you need to remove the liquid and stop when it touches the 0 mark. Students, see, this is the 0 mark adjusted. Okay, so this way you make your burette ready. After your burette is ready, just remove the funnel, or else the remaining solution can later on disturb your adjustment if the drops are running down. If it happens so, again adjust it. Now from this conical flask solution, I have already pipetted out 10 ml of oxalic acid. which I have prepared in previous experiment. And this is 10 ml of oxalic acid in it. After pipetting out, you place the pipette in a stand so that it doesn't break. Now to provide it acidic medium, I will be adding 1.5 test tube of dilute sulfuric acid. So this is approximate addition. It does not require perfect measurement. So add 1.5 test tube of dilute sulfuric acid to provide acidic medium. Now the titration between KMnO4 and oxalic acid does not take place at room temperature, but it takes place in the temperature range of 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So we need to heat the flask up till that temperature approximately. So heating of flask is, you can place the wire gauze and you can keep it over it for heating, and after that you can touch the sides of the flask where solution is there and check the temperature. It should be warm, it should not be hot. This is one way we can do it. There is one more way. Since we don't require much heating, I prefer doing it directly on the flame so that the process is faster. Also keep on mixing the solution so that heating is uniform. If you heat like this, the desired temperature will reach in about 40 seconds to 1 minute. Okay. Now after touching the flask, I have seen that liquid droplet has condensed on the side of the flask wall, so the desired temperature has reached. So it is done in 40 seconds almost. If you keep it on wire gauze, it may take 1 minute to 1.5 minutes depending upon the flame of the burner. Now the hot solution only you are supposed to titrate, so do not allow it to get cool. See that burette solution directly falls in the middle and it does not fall on the side. Now when you add first few drops, it will take some time to disappear because the end point is colorless to light pink. So add few drops at a time and go on mixing the solution of the flask. You should keep on adding till the color does not disappear. Now if you want perfect readings, slowly titrate it and do not add more drops at a time. Suppose the flask is becoming cooler while titrating, we don't need to heat it again. It requires energy of activation only initially. After that we have to continue even if it gets cooler. In between heating is not required. So right now my burette reading is 6. See that drops are not falling on the side of the conical flask, or else it will give you wrong reading. So it should fall in the middle. Now since it is near 10, I am adding a drop only at a time because the color may change anytime. See, now it requires only one more drop, but since the solution was on the side, you can see that color has become light pink. So this is the end point, and right now the reading of the burette is 9.8. what happens if I add more drops at a time? If I add more drops at a time, I get dark pink color, which is wrong. And then the reading of the burette is 10 now. You added extra drop, your reading is 10. Color change is also wrong. This is wrong color change. So after 9 ml, drop wise only till you get light pink color. So now let us see calculation. Now for calculation, we need to repeat the titration process for 3 to 4 times. And we should get 3 or 4 burette readings. Any 2 burette reading should be same. So the same reading on the constant reading is called concordant burette reading or CBR. Concordant burette reading or CBR. So for getting CBR, we need to repeat the whole procedure at least 3 to 4 times. If you are doing drop wise, then in 2 times only you will get your answer. Or both the readings will be same because you are using the same solution. So after you get CBR, this is the formula. A1M1V1 is equal to A2M2V2. A1 I have written for KMnO4. A2M2V2 I have written for oxalic acid. A1 stands for activity. And activity means number of electron lost or gained by one molecular species. So if I see MnO4, one molecular species gains 5 electrons. So activity of KMnO4 is 5. If I examine oxalic acid, one oxalate ion loses 2 electrons. So activity of oxalic acid is 2. So I substitute that here. A1 is 5. M1 KMnO4 is unknown. So I have written M1 as it is. V1 of KMnO4 is a CBR that I will get from the titration. Constant burette reading or concordant burette reading. A2 is 2. A2 is for oxalic acid. It is 2. It is losing 2 electrons. M2 is 0.05 because it is a standard solution and we have prepared M by 20. So it is 0.05 and V2 is 10. I have pipetted out 10. So after substituting all this, I will get this equation and I will get answer of M1. Only M1 is unknown now. CBR will substitute. Suppose that answer is X molar. So this is the strength of KMnO4 solution, X molar. Now final calculation, that is grams per liter calculation. The formula is molarity of KMnO4 multiplied with molar mass of KMnO4. So molarity we calculated, we got our answer X molar. Substitute here and multiplied with molar mass 158 grams. So my final answer will be Y, which is answer of this multiplication, and the unit is grams per liter. Thank you.